Hey, it's Jacqueline from the CTS Sports Room, coming to you from my car. Because it's Christmas time, and my house is full of people, and I told them I was going grocery shopping, but really, I just needed a break. So I downloaded this new app that we just partnered with. It's Superdraft Pro. It is the future of fantasy sports. And you can play for cash, prizes, and experiences that money can't buy. Like the peace and quiet I'm getting right now. You can play for free, or you can get their non-gambling subscription. Either way, you can still win cash and prizes. If you want more information, my friend Kyle Murray is going to tell you about it.
It's not easy being the fastest quarterback you've never seen. I'll be right back. There's no quicker way to get into DFS. Play Superdraft today and see for yourself.
Superdraft Pro and Caesars Entertainment are bringing you the future of fantasy sports. So, if you want to play like a champion or need a break from the family, download Superdraft Pro today. Play like a champion. Information will be in the link below.
Welcome inside another edition of Third and Three, everybody. I am your host, Stephen Ray. And unfortunately, Joey is tied up here at the second, so I'm going to start this off. And Joey,
man, I got this. I just got a sidekick. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the millions and the millions watching. I got the bonus here, ladies and gentlemen, introducing my beautiful son, Jonah. I love him so much. He will be taking over the show during the time period we're on. He will be grabbing the mic. He will be touching the camera. He will be calling me Da. And then I got my other beautiful son right here, jumping up and down with my granddaughter. So it's going to be a fun, exciting,
chaotic,
thrilling. You hear the babies? You hear them? They're ready for third and three. Are you ready for third and three? Because we're ready for third and three. Ain't that right, Jonah? You don't talk.
Parenting duties, man. I'm not looking forward to that. Not one bit.
Tell the Alabama fans at home what we got on the show today.
Tonight we have a huge
very
guest
special
coming on. He is. It's going to be an amazing show because we actually have the former Alabama running back Kerry Goode joining us here in about 15 minutes or so. So it's going to be an amazing show out there, Joey.
That's how you introduce a legend. The very historic. Hang on one second. I got to get off camera for a second. 1 second.
Okay. So we are having Kerry Goode join us a little bit later on tonight, and we are also going to talk about the legacy of Tom Brady, as Tom Brady, of course, is calling it quits and retiring after 22 years in the NFL. We are also going to talk about the AFC and the NFC championship games between Kansas City and Cincinnati, and then of course the one out there on the West Coast that was late, San Francisco versus the Rams. We're going to talk about that. Plus, we're going to talk also about a big pay-per-view that was this past weekend, and that of course was the Royal Rumble match. So that is what we're going to talk about here today. But honestly, hats off. And whether you love this guy or you hate this guy, I've got to tell you, man, Tom Brady has got to be the GOAT in the NFL. I tell you, he was an amazing player, and he won 7 rings with New England and 1 with Tampa Bay. So that is incredible. And Joey, we were talking about Yep, got to get your glasses back on, buddy. So we were talking about Tom Brady. What are your thoughts on the legacy of Tom Brady? Now, I will tell you and remind the fans at home that obviously Tom Brady over the past few seasons has been an arch rival of Joey's because he is a Atlanta Falcons fan and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is who Tom Brady played for.
Look, I don't hate nobody, but it does go back all the way to 2000 when Michigan beat Alabama in the bowl game.
I forgot about that too.
Yeah, it is what it is. Tom Brady is a legend. Yeah, he'll go down as one of the greats. I've been getting on to myself about the However, you know what we got right now is a legend already on. I don't think he came on early. Should we go ahead and bring him on?
That's up to you, my friend. That's all. You're directing tonight, so it's all up to you.
I'm directing. Okay. Hang on. Go ahead and take care of this. I'm gonna see what's going on. I'm gonna see if let's try it out. Maybe he's ready because he don't got his camera on. Hold on. Here we go. And by the way, if you're watching this, we're live on Twitter. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook. Yes. Also, if you listen to this on podcast, check us out on Anchor and Spotify and Google and all over the place. Stingray is taking us all over the world. But let's check out Google. Let's check out Kerry Goode. Kerry, are you with us?
No. And I told him that it was going to be right at 6:20.
Okay. So yeah, Tom Brady. Look, he's a legend. He won 7 Super Bowls?
Yes.
I mean, he's going to go down as one of the all-time greats, if not the all-time great.
Right.
Congratulations to a very successful career. A lot of people don't even get to win one Super Bowl. Yeah. He got to win 7 Super Bowls. And a lot of people, gave him, hell, said that it was Belichick. So what did he do? He went to another team, won a Super Bowl in the first try. Could have went to this year's Super Bowl. Came close.
There was a lot of scandals surrounding him, Deflategate and all that stuff. And anybody else that would have probably tarnished their career, not Tom Brady. Nope.
Well, hey, it is what it is. Tom Brady, congratulations.
Yes. Question.
Yeah, the question that you wanted to ask was, where did the babies go?
No.
The babies went downstairs and they decided that they wouldn't go watch Cocomelon. They didn't want to be here with me. So.
Okay. Will Tom Brady's performance ever be replicated again in the NFL? Yes or no?
That's a very good question. It could happen. It could happen. I mean,
I'm telling you right now, it will happen. And this is very, very, very bold. The guy who is leading the Cincinnati Bengals will be the modern day Tom Brady, Mr. Joey Burrow.
And that would be the modern day Brad Pitt. You out of your mind. Our family member Spencer is on here. Kerry is one of the greatest ever. Hell, Kerry Goode, very damn close to a GOAT. Yes, he was. If you wasn't allowed to watch him play, that man was awesome.
Which I was not, unfortunately.
Well, I was, and he was one of the all-time greats. His stats went to show it, but you got to understand when you get injured, it happens. But Kerry Goode was one of the fastest human beings ever put on the Alabama jersey. I can't say enough about Kerry Goode, and the fact that we got him on our show is fantastic. I cannot believe it. It's one of the greatest highlights of my life. And I'm looking forward to talking to him. And he got to go to the World Series. I want to talk about that. There's a lot of good things that's happening, not just with Mr. Goode, but also with the CTS. Tell you what, we got a new family member, Spencer. He's on here. He's already changing the way we do things here at the CTS. He was just coming on just for one show. He was like, man, this guy comes on and he
steals the show, man.
He comes on and he steals the show. people, my wife was watching him and was like, where has he been? And I was like, he brings so much joy and happiness. And I'm sitting there like, what do you think I do? Clemson Tom was here. I was slapping because I know he had something smart to say. Anyway, so look, Tom Brady, greatest of all times. Kerry Goode, one of the greatest of all times. Now let's talk about the playoffs. I unfortunately work on the weekends. I got to see a little bit of the playoffs. Yeah, I was sleeping. I work nights.
Now, I will tell you, I did not watch any of the late game between the Rams and the 49ers just simply because it was West Coast, and I really don't like any teams over there in the West Coast.
Why not?
In the NFL, I just don't. I don't like the Rams.
Why not?
Especially after that.
Did you like them when they was in St. Louis?
No, not really. But I really don't like them now because of that controversial pass interference down there in New Orleans a couple of seasons ago. I'm still not over that because I'm a Saints fan.
I hate the Saints.
I know you do, and that's why I brought that up. But no, I don't like anything the Rams. I'm going with Joey Burrow all the way. But anyway,
ladies and gentlemen, guess who's on the line? Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Mr. Kerry Goode, ladies and gentlemen. He is here, the legend. He's here. Kerry, how you doing, sir?
Oh, I can't complain. I'm doing all right.
And you looking good. You look like, man, you look like you're 20 years old.
Hey, man, I wish. Take me back and let me do it again.
Yes.
I hear you. So, first question here, I have to talk to you. The World Series, you got to go to it. I've never been to a World Series. I've never been to a Super Bowl. I've never been to a national championship. Of course, Stingray, he makes that big money. He goes to all the big games, but you got to go to the World Series. What was that like, and how did it feel knowing that your Atlanta Braves won the World Series?
Well, I've done all three of those, and baseball was probably my biggest one that I always wanted to do. I grew up playing little league all the way through high school, and hey, everybody dreamed of in that walk-off home run. So, and you know, I just happened to see Game 4 and Game 5, and that was amazing atmosphere. For me, it was everything was built up to be. I grew up being a Braves fan because during that time that was the only show in town. They had turned on TBS, man. So I get out there, we have great seats both nights. I learned real quick. I'm not a front row guy because I can't really see a lot with my head stuck in this wheelchair, man. But the seats I had on the second level they were perfect, man. I got a chance to see it all. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see him win it at home, but hey, man, I was in front of the tube on game 6 when they did. So, man, it was a lifelong dream, and I got an opportunity to witness it here with my Braves.
Well, I don't know if y'all see this. You are looking at a living legend in the state of Alabama. This guy right here is an inspiration, not just to Alabama football fans, but to the state of Alabama. And it's complete honor. When Stingray said that we were going to get you on the show, I was shocked that, some people like you and Jeremiah Castile, I love talking to the players that played in the 70s and the 80s because, that's when football was just rugged. It was just hard nosed, and you had to be a man to play football back in that day. And you're definitely one of those players. I want to take you back a little bit to 1980. Let me see. You left Alabama in 1989. Am I correct?
87.
87.
Yeah.
So let's take you back to when you got recruited. What made you want to go to the University of Alabama?
Well, I went to Hazelwood High School in North Alabama, and I won the state championship both my junior and senior years, and had pretty good records all the way through from little league all the way through high school. We won some form of championship almost every year, and I just gotten used to winning, man. And Alabama was on that same terror at the same time we were doing our thing in little league. Alabama was winning a lot of games, and I was like, hey, man, you want to go and maintain what you're accustomed to and have a chance to play one of the greatest coaches and programs in the nation. That pretty much was a no-brainer.
Yeah. Did the other school try to ever recruit you?
Well, the other school started recruiting me in the 10th grade.
When I say the other school,
I know you're talking about West Georgia.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
oddly enough,
Georgia.
They were recruiting. They started recruiting my brother and Chris, and I when he was he's a year ahead of me, and Chris had committed to Auburn. And on signing date, Coach Dye called and told my dad that they had allotted too many scholarships, and if he would walk on that fall, they would put him on a scholarship in the spring. My dad told him, said, hey, we're not going to turn down scholarship to walk on anywhere. And he said, you should have known this one before you offered him a scholarship. Mm-hmm. And just don't worry about coming back next year to see any of the other ones. So that's how the pipeline ended up headed to Alabama.
I got a question. You play with a lot of great players, notable players in the state of Alabama, like Mike Shula. You also played with John Hand, Thornton Chandler. Your coach was Ray Perkins. My question is a simple two-part question. What was like people like John Hand and Thornton Chandler like, and what was Ray Perkins like?
Well, John Hand and I had this thing going on the whole time I was there. He always wanted to hit me. And every time I was running through the hole by him, he would come back after the play. It's like, man, I almost got you. One of these days I'm gonna get you. He used to call me Goody Powder. I said, well, you're not gonna get it in this Goody Powder for your headache, brother. Because I know how to stay out of your way. John was a great guy. As far as Thornton Chandler, love him to death. I talk to him quite often. He's out in Houston, and Thornton's a lot of fun. Man. He kept the fun going on around the team. As far as Coach Perkins, hey man, he believed in me from day one. And actually, I got an opportunity to play in the first game. At the first game I ever set field on the Legion Field, I played against Georgia Tech, and I'm standing there on the sideline it was in the second quarter. I didn't think I had a chance to play. So what I'm doing like all freshmen. All freshmen do is go over there and stand on the bench so I could see what was happening. I put my helmet down somewhere on the other end of the field. And I heard somebody calling my name, man, and everybody's looking at me, and I'm like, well, who's calling me? And it was Coach Perkins. He came over and told me, get in the game. Man, I couldn't find my helmet. And I went running around looking for my helmet, and I just grabbed Chester Bragg helmet and put it on. So if you got some film out there or pictures, that first play I ever played, I have a number 30 on my helmet and a 35 jersey on. And after
I'm
I
sorry,
was
go
so
ahead.
afraid that Coach Bergen was gonna kill me because I didn't know what was going on. I wasn't really thinking that I was gonna get into the game. And that first play, I rolled out 26-yard run, brought it down to the goal line. And the next play, Craig Turner took it over the top. So, that was my welcome to Tuscaloosa.
Now, I was wondering, being a big Falcons fan, I guess he's more of a Buffalo player than a Falcons, but Kanea's been it. Did he ever try to put his hands on you, or could he never catch you during practice?
Well, he and I came to an agreement. If you don't try to bull rush or run over me, I won't cut you or take your legs out. So it's like he and I always came up when we had to block or he had to pass rush me. We came to a stalemate. Make your coach happy and let me make mine happy. So, we never had any big collision because of that, because he knew, hey, I'm trying to win by any means necessary.
Any means
But,
necessary.
the other defensive coaches, they don't want me cutting him anyway. Not mess up his knees or anything like that. So, you get most players on the opposite side always has a partner. Let's make it look good and get nobody hurt. So that's what we did.
Well, we got one more question from Spencer, a family member from the CTS. Did your brother ever buy you a hot dog at the World Series?
Oh man, yeah. When I was in Little League, I started out as a right guard, and Chris was the tailback. And my uncle would pay $1 or something like that for every touchdown. And Chris was putting up about 3-4 touchdowns every game. And here I am at the right guard. After the game, I don't get any money. So I told Chris, I said, listen here, brother, I'm blocking for you, and I figure it's only right that you give me a quarter. So I give me a hot dog and Coke for every touchdown you score. He looked at me and like you got to be crazy. So we go to the line, and I told the guy in front of me, number 33 is getting the ball. And I just moved out the way. And he tackles Chris in the backfield. And we get in the huddle, and I told Chris, how about that quarter? And he kind of, he and I getting the fight inside the huddle. And Coach finally splits us up. And I go to the line, and I told everybody this time, not just the guy in front of me. I said, 33 getting the ball again. Man, this time they lit him up. And after the game, my dad asked, what are y'all doing out there fighting? And so I told him what the deal was. And he told Chris, he said, I think you ought to make this situation right.
Mm-hmm.
So I finally got the quarter and all that. And that reminds me of the when they started this NIL. I'm like, those skill positions, y'all better take care of your linemen because you're gonna have a lot of people on that quarter for that hot dog.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's not just one of the greatest running backs of Alabama history. He's also a comedian. Stingray.
Hey, man, that's the way it happened.
Ask the legend some questions.
I sure will, man. All right. Once again, thank you for joining us this evening. And I want to get your take on this. What is your most fondest memory of being at the capstone at the University of Alabama?
Wow, man, that's a lot of them. Well, I guess the Boston College game would be a pretty good one. Even though I destroyed my knee, I had a dream game, and a nightmare all wrapped up in one. Of course, 297 yards total offense, but everybody always asks me about that, and I tell them, hey man, that was no different than I did when I was in high school. I would score 5-6 touchdowns in a game because I played both ways.
Mm-hmm.
I remember playing against Howard Cross, and man, I pretty much scored a touchdown in every way possible. I had a kickoff return, punt return, interception, one from receiving, and one running. So, it wasn't a surprise that I could do it. I just wish I could have stayed healthy.
Yes. Well, I always ask former players this. What was it like transitioning from the college game to the NFL? Because you got drafted by Tampa Bay. What
Yep.
was that transition like for you?
Fast. Man, you better be on your P's and Q's for every play,
Yes.
every drill, until you get acclimated to the speed of the game, because everything's moving a lot faster. I would think that Alabama has that problem right now with all the 4- and 5-star guys that they have coming in and going to the pros now.
Yes.
That everything is kind of fast. When you have that amount of 5-star guys on the team, everybody's got a lot of talent. But once you learn, and I always tell young guys, there's 2 things you control: knowing what to do and being in shape.
Yes.
If you got those 2 down, hey man, all you can do is put all balls out and let the chips fall where they may, man. If you don't make it, you did everything you had in your capability to make the team.
Yes. And my last question for you is this. How much pride do you take in seeing Alabama and Tampa Bay winning championships?
Oh, it's a great feeling, being part of that. It would be even greater if you were on the team. So, even with this coming up Super Bowl, I coached with the Rams
Right.
for a few years, and of course, you still always root for the teams you were associated with. And so, even though I'll put it like this: Joe Burrows has grown on me.
Yes.
He's doing some good stuff. I was skeptical of him at first. I thought it was all hat and no head, but he's turning out to be a pretty good quarterback.
Yes.
But with my Rams connection, and they're having a lot of people in the front office there that I know and work with, I got to root for them.
Yes.
You Stingray? Picture this: Canisius Bennett, Thornton Chandler, Derrick Thomas. You have to run through these people.
Yeah.
This man did it on at practice.
Mhm.
Do you not realize how sore your body would be? Like
Oh,
I'll be crying. Like,
Yeah.
definitely.
Well, one thing is running back. You learn real quick,
Mm.
and that's how not to take a direct hit.
yeah, I
Those
grew up
south,
watching Barry, so
yeah.
yeah,
Oh man, Barry Sanders,
yeah.
probably the best at doing it. Um, you know, that's the only way you really will end up extremely sore. But you learn you learn how to fall and when to get down and all of that.
Yes.
Everybody used to laugh at Franco Harris when he ran out of bounds. I'm like, Franco was a lot smarter than people give him credit for. You save that body. There's no need to take a guy on when you're a foot from the sideline if you're not going to be able to get by him. Hey, man, step out. Step out of bounds and not take that hit. Because they add up, and the more they add up, the shorter your career becomes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you made a career of making sure nobody hit you. I mean, if y'all have
Well,
never,
one thing I do know, uh, you're going to have a lot of people chasing you if you got that football in your hand.
Yes.
So you better figure something out.
my last question to you is University of Alabama right now. Did you ever think that you'll see the success that the University of Alabama has done in the last since 2007 when Nick Saban came on? Because
He's
I don't
done
know
a hell
about
of a job.
yeah, I don't know about you. I thought Nick was going to be like maybe a 1 to 5 year coach at Alabama, and then he's going to go back to the NFL. I never imagined that we was going to see the success that we have seen at the University of Alabama. The fact that we at the people the fans of Alabama right now consider this team right here one of the worst teams in the history of Alabama, and they went to the national championship. They won the SEC
Right?
championship, and you got fans right now talking about this is one of the worst teams ever. That's how good we are as a football team, and you're part of that legacy, along with Canedius and Derrick Thomas and Najee Harris and Eddie Lacy. I mean, you're part of that legacy.
Yeah. I just look back on our 1986 team. We lost to Penn State, and Penn State wins the national championship. Of course, we lost a few other games in '86, but after that game, we were ranked, I think, number 2. Penn State was number 1 at the time, and I think, well, I don't think after losing that game, nobody else got up for any of the other games because we knew that we had an opportunity that got by us. I mean, if you look at that roster, top to bottom, that thing was loaded as much as any of these teams that have won it since. But if once you get accustomed to winning, and I learned this in high school, man, you beat a lot of teams before you ever get on the field because of the mystique. This team, this past year's team, when they started the season, I was looking at them and I'm like, whoa, man, they right on the cliff. They can either be that dynamic with all the talent, they can lose quite a few games just being so young. But this is probably the best coaching job Nick Saban has done with this team. I mean, you got to look at there's some young guys out there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, next year, a lot will be demanded of them because, hey, brother, if you go that far with freshmen and sophomores and you got them coming back, hey, boy, everybody's gunning for you.
what Spencer from CTS. He said, "I miss your laugh after the games you showed out for Alabama." Man, you did. I, I want to add, we kept you on longer than we promised, and it's the reason why,
No big
because
deal, brother. I ain't got nothing going.
the reason why is because, you know, when we get somebody like you on the show, we kind of like, we don't want to let you go, but we know we have to. But I want to ask you this. Man, I honestly forgot the question. Do you remember?
Not as old as I am now. You get too young to be getting questions.
When you was playing at Alabama, what do you see the differences in today's football and yesterday's football? The football that you played, what's the differences? And that's what
the physicality.
The physicality.
Hey man, you get you hit anybody hard. Nowadays you get a targeting call.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Receivers, now you can be a superstar because you're not going to get hit. Man, if you want to cross that middle, when I was playing, if you catch it or don't catch it, you're going to get drilled.
Yeah.
And they've taken that out. They've taken that out, which with me sitting here with ALS, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, but they got to figure out something better than kicking the guy out of the game for a targeting call. Hey, man, you can put in a 20-yard penalty or something like that, but lose the guy for the whole game. I don't think that's right.
Yeah. Well, you know, even though you sent in the real chill with ALS, you're still the most handsome man in Alabama.
Hey,
you
man,
got that going for you.
I appreciate
it. I wanted to thank your wife. I caught a little short story. Before we have a guest on, we always, you know, call to make sure there's, you know, anything. Sometimes guests don't want certain things talked about. Like, you know, if I bring on a guy that played in 2002, don't want to talk about the probation that, you know, they don't want to talk about that, or they don't want to talk about this, or something happened. So we bring guests on. And so I called Mr. Goode's cell phone, and it was his wife's cell phone. And she said, "Call back in 45 minutes. I'm driving." And I said, "Yes, ma'am." Well, I got stuck at work and I was doing something, and about an hour and 15, maybe an hour 30 minutes later, it's like almost 11 o'clock. I was like, oh, snaps. And instead of calling back in the morning, I called, and you know what your wife did? Your wife was like, "Oh, it's okay, baby. It's okay. Here he is." And I was like, man, that's a wonderful woman, because that was my house. It would have been click.
Oh, you'll be all right. I'm still up. I'm a night owl. So you'll be all right.
But Mr. Goode, I want to say this has been truly an honor. I wish you could see the camera. I wish you could see the goosebumps. I don't know if y'all can see it. I got the goosebumps. With that said, man, I hope that one day we get to see you in person and shake your hand. And I'm glad you got to go to the World Series. And hey, look, maybe one day we can have lunch.
Well, I appreciate
look, I'm pushing myself onto you.
Oh, I'm like, but I would like to say one thing.
Go ahead.
You out there listening, please go to goodefoundation.org and help support the Goode Foundation, because we're trying to help other members, players, family members, or whatever fight ALS, and that's what our foundation does. We try to get out and support those people through paying bills, buying equipment, and doing all that, because ALS is an expensive disease. It costs roughly $250,000 a year to support an ALS patient. And that's what I spend my time doing, sitting in front of this computer, is trying to help the people that may not be as fortunate as I've been to have the support that I get from the Alabama nation. So if you can, donate, or we got plenty of merchandise on there that you can purchase as well.
Well, if do me a favor, tell your wife she has my phone number. Tell her to text me the information, and we'll put it in the description under below to make sure we will definitely going to support it. I know I'm going to go support it. Stingray, Stingray, you want to let me borrow a couple $100 so I can?
You got the big money.
Yeah,
That's the big money. Stingray is the big money. Stingray, he's so rich the government calls him for a loan. That's how rich that man is.
My kind of guy.
But ladies and gentlemen, we got the Good Foundation. It's www.goodfoundation.org. That's GOODEFUNDATION.org. The Good Foundation. Go check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, we got one of the greats, the all-time greats, Kerry Goode. Kerry, I don't even want to say goodbye to you. And I just hope that, I make my way up into Atlanta and I get to see you, say hello to you. And I know for a fact we're going to beat ALS, and we're going to do more than just put a cold water bucket over our heads. We're going to do a lot. So,
well, we try to do that. Water bucket's fine, but a little love and support that helps too.
Man, we got nothing but love for you. And we mean that from the bottom of our hearts. And we thank you so much for blessing us with your presence. And anything you need from the CTS, consider it a yes.
Thanks, guys. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
sir. Have a good one.
All right.
That was Kerry Goode. Oh.
What's up, man? You doing okay?
Yes. You got to talk to Kerry Goode.
Yes.
Man. That was awesome.
We really want to thank him for joining us this evening.
Yes, it was an honor. It was a privilege. Man, I just named all of those names. Cornelius Bennett, Derrick Thomas. He had to run against those guys.
Dude.
Why didn't you just add Junior Seyoff and Lawrence Taylor? And it's just like, golly, Alabama, they're known for defense. Jesus Louise. Even Spencer was like hell, we don't need a handshake. We need a hug.
Well, Joey, I got to be honest with you, man.
I'm shaking.
I'm going to apologize to everybody out there watching. I was not born yet, or just born when he was playing football. So, because I'm 34.
Okay.
So I didn't actually start liking football till 98.
You don't got YouTube?
Yeah, I do. And now I'm going to have to go watch some of his games.
You didn't do that before he came on the show?
Yes, I did, but I'm going to have to go watch
You just said, okay.
I'm going to have to go watch more, bro.
Okay, watch more. Okay. But he was fast. He was a beast.
Yes.
He got that knee injury, but he was there, man. He could have been the next Heisman Trophy winner.
Yes.
But I guess practicing against all those greats, but he is definitely somebody that I have nothing but the most respect for. Special put, but you were still pretty baby, Sting. Yeah, you was a pretty baby, Sting. Even your mama says so. So what's on the agenda now? What are we talking about? We talked about the playoffs. We got the Rams. Was it the Rams? Hold on, baby. Hold on. We got the Rams, and we got the Rams, and who did the Chiefs beat?
Kansas, Cincinnati.
The Chiefs. Oh, Cincinnati. Okay, yeah.
But here's the deal, though. We didn't talk about the Joey Burrow game. We didn't talk about the Chiefs choking.
Okay,
what were your thoughts on that? Because they pulled they were fully in control of that game and then just choked it. Man.
Well, I think Mixon had a lot to do with it too. It wasn't just Joey Burrow. I don't know what game you was watching, but Mixon was running the ball pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I I mean, it is what it is. It's football. Any given Sunday, you know, we're gonna have an exciting Super Bowl. It's gonna be the Rams and it's gonna be the Bengals. I picked the Rams.
I was going to say something there, but I was
I
going to be
know where you're going.
calm.
I know where you was going because I said Chiefs and Rams, and I was wrong.
No. I was going to make fun of your Falcons losing that lead to Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
There's no need to make fun of me. Don't make fun of me. I didn't play.
Oh, I know.
I wasn't there.
That had to be heartbreaking.
28-3. I was so drunk that day that I really, people was like, so what were you thinking? I was passed out in my chair because I was drinking since 3:00 that day. And when I saw it was 28-3, you know, that drunkenness came up and it was like, you know what? I'll wake up for the celebration. And then all of a sudden my buddy hit me. He was like, it's over. We won. And then he was like, yeah, the Patriots did win. No, shut up. And then I see Tom Brady holding up a damn. I was like, gosh, what the hell? And then I rewinded it because we had a DVR then. And we watched the travesty. And then after a couple minutes of it, I was like, man, turn this shit off.
Okay. But I do have good news for you before we move into the other topic. I'm going to call it right now. The Falcons are going to win the South this year.
Okay.
No Sean Payton in New Orleans and no Tom Brady in Tampa Bay. Look out for Matt Ryan to have a breakout year. The Falcons are going to the playoffs. Mark it down.
I hope so. I hope you're right. I don't share your enthusiasm, but I hope you're right.
Dude, I mean, how could they not? I mean, it's wide open for them right now.
It's been many times it's been wide open. You don't watch Falcon football. It's been many times. It's been wide open. Before that Super Bowl travesty, it was the playoff travesty.
Right.
You know, they get all the way to the NFC Championship game and then the Seahawks blow them out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always been wide open for the Falcons. Joey, I can put you in training. Joey, I can put you in training and help with the passing out issues. I don't drink no more, so there's no need. But yeah, it is what it is. You know, I hope the Falcons do good. They do good. But next level of business before we head out, Stingray wanted to bring this up. The WWE Royal Rumble. We didn't do a special this year. I didn't understand it. I don't watch wrestling as much as I used to. If I do, I'm watching Peacock and I'm watching all the old wrestling. Well, I consider all the wrestling I grew up with. So I'm watching the Mid-South Championship Wrestling, the World Class Championship Wrestling, the wrestling on TBS back when it was on 605 TBS. I'm watching Hulk Hogan and Hulkamania running wild. I'm watching that. Bret Hart. I'm watching Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair. No, I'm not watching that. I mean, I do occasionally. I do put on some old pay-per-views that I missed because back in the day you had to pay $30, and you get people like me had to pick a select few. The card had to be special for me to buy the pay-per-view. So a lot of times I had to go back and like, oh, okay. And anyway, so now since the WWE Network, I can watch all the pay-per-views for free, and now Peacock. Unfortunately, I can't do it with AEW, and I really don't watch a lot of AEW. But I do watch a little bit of New Japan Pro. The reason why is because wrestling has come from, you watch a 1982 episode of World Class or 1982 episode or Mid-South, you can see them actually wrestling. It looks like a competition. It looks like professional wrestling. And then all of a sudden you watch today's wrestling, it's all flips, flops. And I realized I'm out of the demographic of professional wrestling. Professional wrestling wants, the 5 to 34-year-olds. And I'm so far from that. So, it is what it is. I can go back and watch the wrestling I grew up with. Thank you for doing that, Peacock. Stingray, what you got to say?
I would like to do a rendition of to tell you exactly where wrestling has gone. Would you allow me to do that?
Snap in the some Jim. Spencer, I love that. I love Spencer. I ain't lying to you. I'm so glad he's part of our team. Go ahead.
Okay. So you're telling me that the WWE and wrestling has gone all the way from What You Gonna Do, Brother, to Austin 316 and the Millions, all the way to You Can't See Me. Remember that promo The Rock cut?
Yeah, it was funny when The Rock did it in 2011. When I say I'm a big wrestling fan, I do. I remember the Zach. He came back to host WrestleMania, and it was a surprise, and he did that speech. You shouldn't take other people's material. Joe Rogan will not like you for that.
Okay.
Joe, you saw what happened to Carlos Mencia.
Yep.
Don't be like Carlos Mencia.
Okay.
It's a joke, Sting.
I know. I get you.
So WWE Royal Rumble, Brock Lesnar won the Royal Rumble. I didn't understand it. I don't know what was the setup prior to that, how you lose the WWE Championship, and then you get to go into the Royal Rumble like out of nowhere. I don't know if it was on a show and they decided that okay, win or lose. I don't know. I didn't watch Raw. I didn't watch SmackDown, but I know I was watching it and I was confused as hell. And I was like, what the hell? Why is he here? But then of course he won the Royal Rumble, and I was like, okay, well, it's gonna be Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, or it's gonna be Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. I didn't watch Raw yesterday, so but there are rumors that The Rock is supposed to come back to fight Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. So let's hope that happens, because I like to see The Rock.
Team bring it.
Boots to asses, It just smell la 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 and pie and all that good stuff coming back. I hope it does happen. But why would you come back to a sport, or I can still consider it a sport? Why would you come back to a sport that will hurt you? Last match he was in, second to last match, he tore up his stomach.
Right.
He literally tore cartilage in his stomach fighting John Cena at WrestleMania. Why do that when you can go make $1 billion making a movie? Right. So, and
because he's got to be the center of attention, though.
He is attention. Here listening, Tanya, how you doing? How you doing, baby? Tanya's here in the house, y'all.
That's awesome. So, real quick, I have to give a little plug here. What were your thoughts on the crossover promotion thing on a woman that we actually interviewed, Mickie James, coming back to the WWE as the knockout champion going into the Royal Rumble match for the Divas? Thoughts on that?
Tanya Griffin says she's good. I know you're good, Tanya. I was shocked that she came out with her Impact Wrestling theme song and came out with the Impact Wrestling Championship. Once again, I saw in the preview that they already had her coming out because her face was on the screen when they was mentioning the 30 woman World Rumble. I saw her face there. I saw Mickie James gonna be here. So it wasn't a surprise. It was something probably already in the works. So that was cool. I like the fact that she came out with Impact Wrestling stuff. I want to see Impact Wrestling go back to the glory days, but professional wrestling, the thing about it, what they're doing now in professional wrestling is they're doing this crap over and over again. It's come redundant. The same thing. They try to make real stuff into storylines when why don't you just focus on fighting?
Yes.
You can't recreate something that's already happened in the WWE 20 years ago. What you can do is recreate the wrestling. You know, one thing they can say, you may have been against the attitude lever. You could may have been against all that other crap they did with Val Venus and all that crap, but you could. The wrestling was good. I mean, Stone Cold went out there and stomped a mud hole in your ass.
Yes.
Tony said, "Me too." I mean, and then you know, if you like me now, I'm so old school now. I mean, I was Hulkamania from day one, and I still can watch Hulk Hogan wrestling. But I do like watching Bret Hart wrestling. But Bret Hart was wrestling during that cartoon era, and I prefer the. Now I'm going back watching the wrestling that I didn't get to watch because I was so young I was a baby or I wasn't even born, and I'm seeing now I'll sit there and watch that. And I'd rather watch that than watch AEW because they're doing the same shit I saw back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
But kids, you know, it is what it is. But you know, this is not a wrestling show. This is 3rd and 3. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Stingray. We got Clemson Tom out here watching. He's probably watching at home right now, just milking the baby cow. I don't know what he's doing. I'm trying to be funny. I'm not. Stingray, you got one last thing to say?
Sure do. Coming up in about 1 hour from now, down there on the plains at Auburn, number 1 Auburn hosts the Iron Bowl on the hardwood as the Alabama Crimson Tide invade Auburn for their rematch. Auburn got round 1 in Coleman Coliseum tonight, 8 o'clock Central. Alabama gets their opportunity for revenge over number 1 Auburn and Bruce Pearl. Tonight on TV, it is supposed to be a kick rear end game.
Tony said, I used to watch wrestling faithfully as a kid, but it's got too predictable. I stopped after that. I agree. But I still watch the pay-per-views. That's the only reason why I got Peacock is to watch the WWE. And, you know, go back and watch all the old stuff. That's what I do. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, 8 o'clock Central. Am I correct?
8 o'clock Central, 9 Eastern.
9 Eastern, Alabama versus Auburn on the hardwood. I would like to say I'm going to watch it. I'm not. I'm just don't
and
care.
I will tell you, Auburn has been rather sloppy in the 2 games prior to this since they became number 1. That's going to be key in this game tonight.
Well, let's tell everybody who we're going to have on Rolling with the Tide coming up Thursday with my man Spencer. We got me and Spencer. We're going to be interviewing the 1992 national champion, Derrick Lynch. And also, what are you pointing at, Sting?
You. It's all you and Spencer, bro. It's not me.
I said Spencer. Did I say Spencer or Sting?
Sting. You said Sting, but it's Spencer.
Okay, whatever. Let me start over. This Thursday at Rolling with the Tide, we got me and Spencer. We're going to interview 1992 national champion Derrick Lynch. And also, we're going to have from Florence, Alabama, Brett Beard. It's going to be a very interesting show. We're going to be talking about the
Griff Redmill as well.
Griff is coming back.
Yes.
So it's Griff, Derrick Lynch, and Brett Beard.
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness gracious. This is going to be big. Griff Redmill, one of the greatest offensive linemen that ever played at the University of Alabama. Derrick Lynch, 92 national champion fullback, and Brett Beard from Florence, Alabama. He's a DJ. He talks all about he's a big time DJ in Alabama. Ladies and gentlemen,
that's why we are the CTS, bro. We're bringing you 3 amazing interviews in one show. Go on.
That's
Joel.
right. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Stingray, since you love closing us out and you do it in style, go ahead and close us out.
All right, guys. Well, next week, right here on 3rd and 3, we are actually going to be shifting away from Alabama and actually going to be interviewing a former running back from Mississippi State, Ladarius Perkins. Will be right here on 3rd and 3. He helped Mississippi State beat Michigan in the Outback Bowl back in 2010. We're going to catch up with him. Plus, we will also preview the Super Bowl with a legend as well. So we're going to have a very good show for you guys next week. But once again, do not forget Rolling with the Tide with Spencer and Joey on Thursday night. Joey, you got anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
I miss you, Clemson Tom.
Yeah, we know that's a lie.
It is. Ladies and gentlemen, this is 3rd and 3. This is CTS. You haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Go check out the Good Foundation. Please, we got to beat AOS. It's time, y'all. We got to beat it. With that said, please go subscribe to the CTS Sports Room on YouTube, Twitter.
And don't forget that right down there, Joey. Go ahead and plug it one more time.
Go ahead and check out Super Draft Pro. If you're not playing Super Draft Pro, I don't know what you're doing. Yeah, they're giving away money right now. It's funny. They're giving away money. Like if you just know a little bit about sports, you're gonna win some money. So, and you can play for free. And unfortunately, you live in the state of Alabama, you can't play the gambling games, but they give you free games that you can play and win money if you sign up for the subscription. So sign up today. Just hit the code CTS Sports Room. That link right there is in the description. So go play it, win some money. If you don't want to buy a subscription, you don't have to. But if you want to buy a subscription, I signed up for the Elite subscription, so I get to play all the free games. And right now my check, the bank they give you, I'm up to like $375 in 1 month. So maybe if I was good, can we get Tanya on the show if she's willing? Why not? The last guest, with last audience member that we tried to get on the show, he became a member.
Yeah.
I can't keep inviting not fans. I don't call them fans because we're nobodies, but I can't keep bringing on people because then I'm going to like them and then they're going to stick around. Ladies and gentlemen, this is 3rd and 3. This is CTS Interview. Please go subscribe. Tommy, I'll just kidding. If you want to come on, you can come on. I don't care. We don't have no rules here. Ladies and gentlemen, 3rd and 3, CTS Sports Room. And ladies and gentlemen, we are out.